Good evening and welcome to the hour dedicated to talking about all things strange, weird, and paranormal. You're listening to Strange Talk, broadcasting on 1660 AM in Northside, 91.7 FM HD2 WVXU in Cincinnati. We're also streaming at radioartifact.com around the entire planet Earth. The intro track to this episode and most of our episodes is the Strange Talk intro by Star Silk. I'm your host, Alyx, and I have a very special return guest tonight. Hello.
What's up, creeps?
Yes. The fabulous Creepy Confidential. We are, I guess, one day out from, we went on a paranormal investigation together at Poasttown Elementary up towards Dayton. I guess technically more Middletown.
Right.
Yeah, so if we sound a little brain dead, we got a little bit of sleep afterwards, but we're still, catching up.
Yeah. All night long looking for the paranormal.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, we'll definitely take a nap. We did not.
Yeah, that did not occur.
The night went by so quick. Like, as much as we were doing, like, it just kept going.
Yeah, and there were things that we didn't get to do this time.
Yeah.
But I think now we know how the flow will go. But we got there, 5 p.m.?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we didn't leave until 7 p.m. the next morning, I think?
We left...
7 a.m., excuse me.
It was 6:30 a.m. because sunrise was at 6:16. And I only remember that because even the video that we got, my watch had moved forward in time through the night. Which is weird. Interesting because it had been 2 minutes behind the whole night. But when we checked in the morning when we were talking about what time it was, I was like, oh, it's 6:30. And then I was like, it's not 6:30 because I was just looking at my phone. And that was not what my phone had said. And I looked at my phone. It was 6:02. And I was like, huh.
I don't remember. Do you have a digital or an analog watch?
That one's an analog watch.
Oh, see, I almost think that's even better.
Yeah.
Because, the smart watches can fix themselves, So
yeah.
that's cool.
I've never had issues with that watch before then. I also discovered while we were there, I did not realize that watch was glow in the dark. And I shined a light on it, and I guess it charged it just enough that the glow in the dark worked. It was when we were in the doll room, and I looked down, and I was like, "Oh, my watch glows." I did not know that.
Dolls, they were glowing up your radium on your watch.
I mean, I did get this watch for $20, so who knows what it is made out of? It could be radium still. But yeah,
I'm just throwing that little tidbit, on purpose.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's funny too, because we were kind of talking about, our investigation and what we would like to do next time. And one of the things I was saying is I would really love to put a clock in front of one of the cameras, so that way, during the live stream, people can know what time it is in our time. Because, it's nice to be able to look back and be like, okay, we were doing this at this time, this at this time, that happened at this time of night, just so you know, because, I mean...
real time stamps instead of, the amount of time from when you started it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and also, if we did that, and then that clock changes time, our fellow patrons that are watching it can visually see that the time has changed.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
If that happened live, oh my
gosh. I guess... I guess at least we do know when we started the live
So
stream
cool.
because it was around 9 p.m. So we can kind of do some
Right.
math to figure it out. But
Right, that is true, because the one was scheduled to start at 9, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did either a couple minutes before or right on time.
yeah, something like that.
I like to be on time. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
probably why.
Yeah, we were just fighting some technical difficulties was all.
Yeah, because like Poasttown is, I don't want to say it's in the middle of nowhere, but it is a a less busy, bustly town, and not great internet out there. And I
Nope.
think thank goodness they did have Wi-Fi that was downstairs. 'Cause
Yes.
we found the router, so we knew they had it.
We found one router. Actually, I found two routers, and then I found two more that were unplugged. The IT in me was finding equipment everywhere. I was like, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, leave it for the IT person to be finding all the rogue routers everywhere.
I am always looking for where the internet router is so I know where the good signal is. Yeah, it was interesting. So we kind of started out, I don't remember her name. Someone met us to give us a tour. Do you remember her name? I'm blanking right now.
You're asking the wrong person. I
Yeah.
have to know you for like 20 years before I remember your name.
That's fair. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
and we were
and
just
then-
so excited talking about like what, the history of the place. So I was too busy focused on remembering the names of the people like that supposedly people have seen there that I
Yeah.
unfortunately do not remember her
I
name.
forgot her name. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we got distracted by the dolls.
And then we got distracted by the dolls. So she gave us this whole tour and gave us sort of like the history of the place. And then she was like, oh, do you want to buy anything from the gift shop? And we were like, oh, gift shop.
Gift shop?
And we look in the gift shop and they have a bunch of dolls for sale there. And I collect creepy dolls. I have said before on here that they're like my home defense system because if anyone ever breaks into my house, they will see my wall of haunted looking dolls and they will probably
haunted
just
dolls.
leave.
Yep. Well, let me paint a picture. This gift shop is not what you're expecting. Like,
No.
This is in an old school. It has literally 2 temporary doors in front of it.
hmm
And it has some dolls, I'll use the word shoved into the upper lockers. And then like a glass case in front of it that looks like it's from a 1975 ball card shop. Just enough to put their little vials of Poasttown roof in it. So this is, the dolls fit in perfectly with the rest of the decor.
Yes. Her name, by the way, because I looked up her podcast is Katie.
Yes.
I was like, I know how to find this information.
I loved it. She was like, yeah, she was so shy about it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's because people are like, oh my God, you're a podcaster.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it depends on the type of podcast, in my opinion.
True.
But she said it kind of shy. And then we were both like, bro,
Yeah, we're like,
you say
ooh.
podcast? Oh, let us get our card for you.
Yeah, we were like, I mean, that's what we're doing here. So
Self-promotion. Yeah, exactly. This is part of what we do. So that was, we swapped cards. I forgot
Yes.
that she told us that.
yes, yeah. I'm slowly remembering some of the things that happened because so much happened.
We got a little bit of sleep, but now we have to try and remember it all.
Yeah, right.
But these dolls.
Yes, so the dolls.
Yeah. Because you are a collector of dolls.
Yes, I'm a collector of dolls.
I am kind of, I'll say, in the opposite realm. Usually if anybody says that this is haunted, these are haunted rocks, these are haunted dolls, I am the one who gives them the one eyebrow, and I'm like, is it haunted? Really?
Yeah.
Or are you just charging X amount of dollars? 'Cause you wanna
Correct.
say it's haunted.
See,
But
most of my haunted objects are not ones that people are trying to sell. They're like, get this out of my house, please take this haunted thing.
acquired.
Yeah.
Right. You have like at least a story, because I think you have to have history.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just a thing. I could say my mason jar with water in it is haunted. But
Yeah.
story is important.
Yes.
And now you got to talk about the one. I know this is your show, but you got to talk about the doll that you found first because
So
oh my God.
as we walk in, I'm looking at all the dolls. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many options. Like, I was like, if I'm gonna take anything home from here, it has to be a doll because I collect them already. And so I'm looking around, and honestly, the first one I locked eyes on, because like there was just so many that it was like hard to choose. I locked eyes on this one, and she had blonde hair, and there was pink in it. And I don't know why there was pink in it. Maybe it was like fake blood that like dyed it. I have no idea how. But I was like,
But
oh
it
my
was pink.
gosh, we have matching
Yeah.
hair. And I was like, this is the doll. Which is interesting too, because what I didn't really notice at the time, because I was so focused on the pink hair, like her limbs are like too long. It's very strange. Like, her arms are too long and they're not proportional. It's very bizarre. So I was like, okay, this is the one I have to take home. And she was in a glass case and we had to figure out how to open it. It was a whole thing. But I was like, all right, I found my little twin.
I looked around on the side and it was just like a pull glass case.
Yeah.
She was like trying to push on it, touch it. I was like, okay, I can tell you haven't been in here in a little while. Popped it open.
Because all the rest of the dolls like were mostly up on like shelves that didn't have glass around them. But this one I just like locked eyes. I was like, all right, that one. And then you looked over and you found one. If you want to talk about the one you found.
Sure. And so again, this is very unlike me. Even my husband said this to me. He was like, I was a little surprised that you got one. Because I am such a skeptic. I'm an uber skeptic.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are all painted black.
Yes.
Like hazily painted black.
Mm-hmm.
And their outfits are kind of dirty looking, but I couldn't figure out what the story was.
Yes.
So she convinced me with the story, and not because I necessarily think the dolls are still haunted, but I like the story behind it.
Yes.
So this was like one big schoolroom. It was divided by 2 doors, and it used to be a big walk-in closet, and the other people lived on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this big, long, open room.
Yes.
Sitting just outside of these doors to the gift shop is a burnt-up Xbox 360 Kinect.
Yes.
And the power battery part. And they are just... You can tell they had lithium-ion batteries and just went crazy.
Yes.
She explains to us that a fire broke out in this area with this equipment, and that these dolls were in there when this fire happened. But the dolls did not burn up.
Yes.
The Kinect and the battery pack did. Filled the room with smoke, but somehow these dolls did not burn. Which I found slightly
very creepy. Yeah.
So knowing that story, I turn around and I see this doll.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it immediately attracted me because the outfit is a white with baby blue sailor collar and square knot.
Yes.
And it looks exactly like the little outfit you see Robert the doll in.
Yes. Which when you said that at the time, I was so tired. And I was like, yeah, Robert, okay. And then, like, literally today, I was driving and it suddenly dawned on me. I was like, oh, yeah, Robert the doll.
Like,
and it clicked.
Oh, Robert the doll.
Yeah, because you had called this doll Bob. And I was like, oh, you named it Bob. And I thought it was because, later on we kept getting, on the Spirit Talker, we kept getting the name Bob. And so I thought it was because of that. And it just clicked today. Robert. Yep.
Little Rob. And now I don't know if your doll does this. I think you called it a sigil. It looks just like a swirly to me.
Yes, I haven't really looked at hers. I need to. Yeah, so supposedly this sigil is supposed to keep them from being haunted.
So I have not researched if that is indeed a protective piece of art.
It's hard to say because sigils can be so personal too.
Right, because you are the one that's locking or, giving power to that thing. But once I saw that, I was like, it's the exact same paint that they're painted with.
Mm-hmm.
So they pitched it as if the dolls are black because of the soot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. Of course, because I was also still skeptical when I sat down and started taking the doll's clothes off.
You took his hair off a little bit too.
I did. That poor guy. Well, I'm like, he's got a bad rug on his head. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
And so we both, and he's actually behind me. He's on a little shelf, and I have a feeling he's going to be part of my little traveling, my next traveling table that I do for fears. And I think
that's a good idea.
He'll be there because he's creepy looking, and he has a little bit of a story.
He does. And his hair through the night was sort of sitting in these devil horns. We realized.
Yeah.
Because
he has like a bob. He has a really short bowl cut bob.
Yeah. And if any of you were watching the live stream, we set them on the camera, to have something there, and then we put some cat balls in front of them, so that way if anything triggered it, and then a motion sensor.
Yep.
So yeah.
And I think I also put a K2 meter there because the K2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember, I was going to put it upstairs, but it went bananas upstairs, so I don't know what his problem. I
Yeah.
didn't believe it.
We brought it upstairs later too, was the interesting thing. And when we brought it upstairs later, nothing. So
It's fine.
Yeah.
Completely fine. Yeah, I don't know what that was about that.
Yeah. So, So
we brought home our dolls.
we did the tour. We got our take-home dolls. which we carried them around for part of the night too, where we were just walking around with them, talking places.
Yeah. Like they were babies.
Yeah.
Like under our arm.
Yeah. And so once we did that, we then went and we set up our 2 stationary cams. So like I said, the one, we put the dolls in front of the one. So one camera that I set up downstairs, it was right near our break room. So that's the one labeled Strange Shot Cam, if you look back on the live stream. So the reason that I put it there was, one, we were very limited with outlets on, where we could put stuff, because I didn't want the laptop to die while it was streaming. But 2, I put it there because it was aimed directly at the front door, the door to the boiler room, and then stairs that lead down to the basement. So I was like, if there's going to be activity in this sort of like way, like this is where people move around, So I thought that was an interesting place just to have it pointed at. So I'm curious to see if we got anything on either of those. Because when we went into the boiler room later in the night, we didn't really get a lot in there, surprisingly. They said that it was a pretty active spot.
I think I hate to use the word felt, but it did. A room can feel close, a room can feel static. So I'm going to continue to use those words. But when we did the kind of initial tour, it felt like it had more of that vibrancy to it. Maybe it was because she was telling the story. You kind of can lean into it. But I felt like there was more up, like it felt a little heavier when you saw it.
Yeah. But
it should have been more scary, because at night, a boiler room that's all drippy and gross, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like a scary movie. But we were perfectly fine.
Yeah, didn't get anything in there, which was interesting. And then you set your stationary camera up in the doll room that we later in the night started calling Doll Hair General, because there was a Dollar General next door. And I don't remember what she said the doll room originally was, but now it's just a room just filled with dolls. Like, people bring dolls and like leave them there. So it has gotten more and more full of dolls over the years.
Yeah, and I think she also said that Daryl's wife collected them for a little while to also add to the amount of dolls. There's quite a few. If you guys ever get to see the room or pictures, I'm sure we have some pictures and video. You'll get to see it, because there's a lot of types.
Yeah.
Too. It's not just like a Barbie. These are like dollies, like old school dollies, but then with weird modern toys.
Yeah.
in them.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
It was very interesting, because there was one chair I remember in there. It had this like doll, and like the face was like peeling and stuff, and like it was kind of chained off, like it was like a don't move these dolls specifically. But then right next to her was like Jessie from Toy Story, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it was very strange that to have all these different decades, literally different decades of toys and dollies. But I think the most kind of weird part of that room is that they're all staring into the middle of the room.
Yes.
I think that's what makes you feel that, a way about that room, is it's a bunch of eyes, especially the little one in the, what did we call him? He had the big, huge eyes in the velvet suit.
Yeah.
We were freaked out by him. I don't remember what his name was. That one was creepy.
Yeah. That one. So we had your static cam set up there, but we went up there later in the night, and we decided to try out the Estes method up there. And as we're setting up everything, we were doing the Spirit Talker at first, which for those not familiar, it's like an app, and it will scan and give you phrases. And we kept getting
a decent sized dictionary.
Yes. And so we kept getting different stuff up there. Like, we got like one that was like, "You are beautiful." One of them was like, "I like your shoes." And we were like, "Whose shoes do you like? Like, what's..." And then like, yeah, it just kept being like very like, "Oh, I like you. I'm friendly. Da da da." And so we were like, maybe it's the one behind us. And I was like, "What one behind us?" I look, and like his eyes are directly pointed at me. And I was like, "Oh, I picked the wrong place to sit."
It's a big doll. That doll, like the eyes are probably like 1.5 inches.
Yes.
From top to bottom.
And he's a little cross-eyed too. So like, it's like, he's like, his eyes are trained on you. He's like in a high chair. So that room is actually probably where we got the most activity of the night. So I'm really interested if your stationary cam picked up anything. So when we tried the Estes method up there, I'd never tried it before. Do you want to talk about that? Because it was your spirit box that we were using.
Sure. Yeah. And I think I want to make sure I highlight that this was your first Estes method. You talked about how you had never got a chance to try it. And I have, not to be a boast, but my kit's a little bit bigger. So I
Mm-hmm.
have enough things. I'm like, oh yeah, I got all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought I brought out the S box and got you all set up. And by far, it was so natural for you. There was no
Yeah.
learning curve. It was like, you just jumped right into it. And so those that are listening, an Estes method is you are blindfolded.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's like noise canceling headphones over the top, and then you have like earbuds in underneath it, and it's to completely deafen the sound around you. So
Yeah.
the only thing you can hear is the scanning of the spirit box, and that's if people have heard it on a show, you hear that
Yeah.
it's going across the channels of radio.
Yes.
So once you hook that up, you get your person all ready, and I thought it was really interesting that of all of us all night long, you were probably the one that they radiate, like they came to you the most.
Which was
'Cause
so interesting because when we were doing the Estes thing, so I thought I was gonna be really freaked out doing that. I don't like not being able to see, and like I was like, if something touches me while I can't see, I'm gonna freak. But like as soon as I put it on, like I was just like I was in the static, like nothing else mattered. And so that was like part of why I really wanted to try it was, especially it being like based on radio, like I spend so much time, doing stuff on the radio. And so I thought that maybe something might click there. But the answers that I was getting was like, it made no sense to me because I was just getting these words. Like some of it, I'm sure listening back is going to be funny because like, I was like, freedom? What? House? What? This isn't a house. It's a school. Like what? And so, like, I'm sure you'll hear me, like, being, like, kind of incredulous of, like, what? How is this? What are they asking right now? Because I could not. Part of it is you have the headphones on, so I could not hear what you and Mike were asking at all.
Correct. And that's the point, too. The big part is that then you can give answers based purely upon what you're hearing in the spirit box.
Yes.
So that if we say, who's here with us, you don't hear that, and all of a sudden you hear the word Andrew come across, you're going to go, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
To you. But
Yeah.
to us, we're like, holy moly. She's spitting out. And that is what happened with you the whole time that you were under. You did the warm-up period. You did, which is, you're just supposed to sit there for a little while. For those that are listening, you shouldn't just jump right in. You kind of have to warm up your mind and your body.
Yeah.
Take about a minute or two. And all you do is focus on the static, which it sounds like you did naturally.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we started asking questions. Do you know you're deceased? How old are you? Like very generic, stereotypical questions. Just to see.
Yeah.
'Cause usually you ask yes or no questions or one word answers because they can't answer in a paragraph.
Yeah. You only get so many words.
Almost every single question. Boom, boom, boom. You answered it. It was wild. You said 16. Do you know you're dead? You said freedom. It was like, it was wild. That's why I really hope we have that somewhere.
I hope so too, because like I said, like I was just getting these words and I'm like, I have no context for this. So like, yeah, when I got the word 16, like I didn't know you were asking about age or anything like that. So I was just like sitting there like 16? Maybe you're asking how many spirits are here? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting. And I got exactly one like full phrase and it was like going through the woods or something like that. And so I'm curious about that.
Wild.
Yeah.
I think like answering one word things is I think easier because you just pick the one word out and it's only on one radio station. That is what they wanted to hear you at that time.
Yes.
But what you heard means that it was going over several frequencies.
Yes.
And you were listening to the same thing.
Yeah.
So somebody had something they needed to tell you.
Yeah. But I didn't really get answers on what that meant. And so
you'll wake up at 2 a.m. and you'll know what it means.
Maybe we might, like, as we're going through the evidence, we might be like, oh my gosh, we know now. Thinking about it, I wonder if it was talking about, because the train kind of goes through the woods.
It does?
Yeah.
It does go into the woods?
Yeah.
I mean, the woods are right across the street.
I wonder if it was just trying to give us a heads up of like, hey, you're going to hear the train soon.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it totally could be.
Yeah.
Since it's like, that's just so tough because it literally could be they are buried into the woods. They live into the woods. They came from into the woods. It's like, well, it's like, we need more.
Yeah.
Can you give us
context, please?
Yeah. It's so important.
So after we did that, we gave the headphones over and Mike wasn't really getting as much up there. Cause after a certain point, like, I wasn't really getting words anymore. It was just static. And it was when I kind of just locked into the static. Like, I was kind of like jamming out to a little bit where I was like, because once you hear it long enough, it was like kind of like listening to a washing machine.
There's a pattern. Yeah.
Or you're like your windshield wipers.
From the machine.
Yeah. Yep. So I started jamming along to it, and then I was like, okay, I need to stop doing this because now I'm jamming to the static. I'm not listening for words anymore. So I took them off because it was just like, okay. And I hadn't realized, like you said, it had been like 15 minutes. I had no idea. It felt like 2 minutes tops.
Yeah. And that's the tricky part too, is you have to warm up period, and then you're not supposed to keep them on. Like I've been at an investigation where somebody was under the SS method for almost an hour. I'm like,
that sounds exhausting.
You could actually physically cause something to happen to you, not related to the box.
Yeah.
There's another version of it that involves a red light blinking on the eyes. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. That one you're not supposed to do for so long because it can induce seizures.
The blinking, yeah.
In some people. So I'm like, there is science to this. I wish more people would pay attention.
Yeah.
And that was what, it was a big thing. If you didn't say you were done with it, I told them, I'm like, we should really pull her out no more than 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah,
which take a break.
I took them off when I was like, okay, I'm just jamming to the static now. But I'm so glad because like I said, not being able to see, like if you had like tapped my arm, I'd have been like, ah.
Yeah. And that's what was weird too. You know how I mentioned like it's almost like your brain or whatever was picking up exactly what we were saying.
Uh-huh.
And it was like when we were talking to each other, not to you.
Yeah.
And I almost like I swear him and I were talked seconds earlier about, I know we shouldn't let her stay in there too long. And it was like you just naturally, I know you didn't hear us.
No, could not hear you at all.
But it was like your brain could.
Yeah, it was genuinely. Crazy. It was when I was like, I started like kind of dancing along to the static. I was like, oh, okay, I need to stop doing this.
Yeah, it's time. Homegirl needs a break.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we had the spirit talkers both going at the same time as well. We had that pulled up on two different ones.
Up there. When we brought the phones back downstairs, did you guys have your phone on airplane mode by chance? There wasn't very good reception there.
I did not when we were upstairs. Actually, I don't think I did that whole time because I was also using it to check the stream to make sure it was up.
Okay. Because sometimes people ask that. And they're like, well, if it's connected to the internet, it could have done X, Y, Z.
Yeah, and that's
so
entirely fair.
I'm always like, well, if it is, it is. If it isn't,
yeah. But the interesting thing about that is we had two different ones going. I don't know if his was on airplane mode or not, but we were getting the same words on both of ours.
Yeah. And I think it was so weird. The minute we came out of that doll room and went into the lower area, like it almost stopped. You guys were hardly getting any words out.
Yeah.
But that room was bananas all night long.
Uh-huh. So I was going through, because it keeps track of like what words we got, and the words we got while like I couldn't see it. I literally, one of them I just now noticed is I did not believe in this. I wonder if they meant
a lot of sentences.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, potato. I'll say one word. It was, again, you had sentences.
Yeah.
What was that weird one?
The other one on here is you're very respectful, so maybe that's why they were talking to us.
Right. We weren't swearing. We're not sweary people to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
We also weren't yelling, and screaming. So maybe that's part of it.
Could be.
But what did it say? Something about something cheaper than therapy?
Oh, so our favorite one, I think this was towards the end of us, or was it right when we got up there?
I think it was. It was
right when we got up there.
You out of Estes, yeah.
This was not on mine. This was on Mike's Spirit Talker. This is my favorite thing we've ever gotten on here, and it just says, "Haunting is cheaper than therapy."
I kid you not. I didn't even know that phrase was possible, but it makes sense because they can choose words. I've been using that thing forever. I have friends that have been using that thing forever. Even the people who have made it, I have never seen them post something like that.
We should message the people that made it and be like, hey, have you ever seen this?
Yeah, true, if it's on Mike's phone. If you ever wanted to know, at Spotted Ghosts or Ghost, can't remember.
Yeah.
It's, they're from overseas in the, are they from England, London? They're in that area. But they have lots of other apps too.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones I'm not as into it as this one, but the Spirit Talker, I've tried and tested that thing,
Uh-huh.
And I do sense that I'm like, I think it's helpful. I
Yeah.
don't think it's all hokum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I like about it too, is that it does keep track with timestamps. So that's how I was able to pull
Yes.
up what was the ones that I got when I could not see my phone and it was still going. And I
Goes
did take a
through, like,
picture
file.
of it saying haunting is cheaper than therapy because that is hilarious.
It was so funny. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, so we got a lot of activity in that room, and it was like mostly kind of playful.
Yeah.
It was very playful up there. So we did that, and then you had a special live stream set up for the witching hour.
I did. Yeah, I was trying it out. I thought, and I've never seen anybody do an exclusive for that time frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this is the time, you know, allegedly, scientifically, when the veil is the thinnest between the living and the beyond.
Yes.
So I thought, why not broadcast it? Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. And it was interesting. It started off very quiet and picked up as we went.
Very mellow. They had like a setup room that had a casket in it. You know, I guess it was a school, but I think the owner also wanted to be a haunt maker, so that's probably why. But it had a coffin in it that had been used by a previous person. You know, it had just a CPR dummy in it. Had an embalming machine in there. It looks like a church cross or a funeral cross that was in there. It was on like a vintage church truck, so the coffin was actually on something that would have rolled around quite a few coffins.
Yep.
But that room was so quiet.
Yeah, it was so
God.
quiet. And so it was interesting we started in there because there was only like a couple chairs in there, so we started kind of sitting as if we were sitting at like a funeral.
Yeah.
And that room is so insulated. That is the only room in there that I could not even hear the train outside.
Yeah, it was like kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And although I couldn't hear it down in the goods room either.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because it was underground.
But I think those two rooms were oddly insulated, like where you walk in and you almost feel like something's wrong.
Yes. So we started up there, and kind of like as we weren't getting anything, I don't remember if we decided we were going to walk around or if like something prompted us to be like, hey, you should, because I know a number of times over Spirit Talker we kept getting the word roam, like they were telling us to like go wander around. Or like saying that they were wandering.
There's a chance you mentioned it, or we just were like, hey, this is kind of, you know, it's dead in here, no pun intended. Let's go walk around. And it was, I liked that because I did use TikTok for it, and they always have like an AI description, and it changed as we walked around. It said, overnight paranormal explorers. The next one was like exploring, you know, building old school, something like that. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Oh, that is interesting.
So it said what we were doing. And I think as a viewer, that would be more fun because then it was like a flashlight in a dark haunted space. So I think it looked more interesting that way.
Yeah.
But didn't we? I think we headed downstairs.
Yes. We were
the old cafeteria.
We were thinking on where would have more activity. And so we went downstairs because there was this hallway you had mentioned had really freaked you out kind of a little bit the last time you were there because you saw this figure. And so we were like, let's head down there. It's the witching hour. See if we see anything near there.
Which was not there this time.
Yeah, was not there this time.
The whole time.
Something I forgot to mention earlier, the owner does have a bunch of like mannequins and stuff that he has put around just to like kind of jump scare people a little bit.
Yeah. Like I said, he wanted to be a haunt director, I guarantee
it. There is one in the basement that got me several times.
Me too.
Including looking back through the video, I knew it was coming and it still got me. There's like a taxidermy. I don't know if it's a dog or a coyote or what it is.
Yeah. Man, the face looks like a coyote, but I think it's a really dried up taxidermy. Yeah. But it has the eye. The face still looks good. The eyes still look good. And if you just walk down there, it was like a scary movie. Yeah. All you would see is this perfectly taken care of dog just staring straight forward into the hallway in front of it.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it was scary.
Yeah. And it scared the crap out of me multiple times. And again, looking back through the video, like I was like, oh, I know the dog's coming up. And I still, when I turned and it startled me in the video, it startled me again watching the video. And I was like, oh my gosh.
See, animal horror, like I've talked about, I don't like horror movies, or what kind of movies do I like, or whatever. Animal horror is my worst.
And that one
is by far the most terrifying.
The reason it really scared me the first time is because I didn't realize it was there. Like, I think it was when we were like doing the original tour, she mentioned that it was there, but I didn't hear that. So I just looked over and I just saw a dog. I didn't hear it. So I just saw a dog and was like, oh my God, there's a dog in here. I don't know if it's friendly. So I was like, I'm about to be attacked by a dog. So I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay, no, oh, it's not moving. Okay, we're okay.
Yeah. And all I saw was like a John Carpenter's movie where the mouth pops open, it's all drooly, and I've worked around animals, and I'm like, I've had seen a dog attack somebody else. And
yeah. So
rabies.
That was along this hallway. As we went down, we somehow decided we were going to go to the dry goods storage downstairs because we had been told that there was a spirit named Larry that liked to hang out in there, and he had his chair in there that he didn't like anybody to sit in.
Yeah.
So we're like,
Mike joined us.
Yeah, it was all three of us in the room, because he chose to actually sit in the chair, and that was probably the freakiest part of the night. When we first got in there, like there wasn't a lot of activity again, and this was like inching towards the end of the witching hour. This was as we were getting closer to 4.
Yeah.
And so we brought all kinds of stuff down. We brought the EMF. We brought your teddy bear, which unfortunately we didn't get any hits on. And we brought some cat toys and your spirit box.
Yeah, I brought my whole Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, yes. And so he chose to sit in the chair, and we were like trying to communicate. We were trying to see if we could contact Larry, and we weren't really getting Larry. We got someone at one point saying, "My name is Walter." And it was kind of like things were coming in and out, and you could feel it. So that was one of the other things. There's a lot of specific spots where you would get cold chills. And so you could kind of tell when something had entered the room because, like, it was so hot and humid in there, and suddenly you just have goosebumps out of nowhere.
And there's no air conditioning, there's no fans, there's nothing. So in case anybody's wondering, you're by the air conditioning. No, building
there's no air conditioning. Like, my hair grew 2 sizes from the humidity and heat in there.
Yeah, it was stuck to my face.
And so yeah, we weren't getting a lot at first, and then you turned on the spirit box, and we put it on the AM bands again. We found that was just better because you weren't getting like any music in there. And it did just one of the creepiest things that I have ever heard. You said you had never heard it do this before.
Nope, I have not.
It started because I'd been listening to Static for a while upstairs. When we were doing the Estes method, it started sort of like, I don't know, the pattern started sounding like breathing, like somebody was like panting into the spirit box. It sounded like either that or a heartbeat.
To me, it reminded me of like if you run into a room and you're trying to tell somebody something crazy that you've seen, like you just used up all your air, and you're like, I swear, down the hallway, they're right there. It was like one of those kind of things. But it was like a perfect pant. It sounded weird. Oh my gosh, it was so scary. Like, that's the only part of it that I like actually felt freaked out, where I was like, oh, I don't like that noise. And that's when that rooms, there's no way in. There's only one way in or out. Yes, you're in a concrete room. It feels so trapped. They like resin the ceiling because they used to keep dry goods in there. So it is completely cut off. Yes. And if something is in the hallway, like I thought it was the first time, right around the hallway, you're stuck in there. If somebody appears in there, you're stuck there. Yes. I think it added to the environment. Yes. So I'm sure some of that was us too. But yeah, and the doorway in is even very narrow. Like, part of me was like, are we going to die in that room? So yeah, it's just this concrete room with, Larry's chair and then a bunch of other chairs and then just one random mirror on the wall. Yeah, and it was small. Yeah. I don't even understand why that mirror was in there. No idea why there's a mirror in there. Yeah. I just had a guess. So I have a feeling that it could have been put there. Someone might have used it for scrying. Could be. It could be. I'm not into scrying. Yeah. But I read a lot. I'm educated in it.
I am very specifically not into scrying because mirrors creep me out.
Right?
I have like constant nightmares about looking into a mirror and either like I am not what's looking back at me or there is something behind me in the mirror that I do not see in real life, and I don't like that idea.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
See, again, thanks, horror movies.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, I don't understand why you don't like horror movies. That's why. Because our brain does plenty on its own.
I love horror movies because they're less scary than the things in my head that I imagine.
No. Like, no, thank you. You know, or if that dog comes to life and then it comes in here. Now
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I hadn't even considered that when we were down there.
I did not like that room. I didn't like it the first time, and I didn't like it this time. But I'm okay to walk into it. And then I felt like all of a sudden, and a side note to that is I feel like everything that might be there, I put a might, everything is transient throughout the building.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, Ruthie, the ghost, only stays in the ghost room and never goes anywhere. It was almost like they all were walking around all the time, but they only liked 2 spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was, oddly enough, the highest part and the lowest part.
Yeah, that is correct. And we did start getting some like stuff on the spirit talker in there. I need to look back through the video from that part, but like I said, that's the one part that really freaked me out. And so I'm a little scared to listen back to the video because I don't want to hear that static again.
It was creepy. Yeah, and I think, because I don't think you had a chance to hear something like that before. I thought you would have heard sounds like that. I was ready for you to be like, oh, I know that. It's some sort of weird radio thing.
Yeah, no.
That you would explain it away for us. And then you were just like, no, that's gross.
I think that's why it freaked me out so much is because I was like, I don't have an explanation for that because that wasn't even the same static pattern that we were getting before. Like we weren't getting that in any of the rest of anywhere there. It was only there we got that weird panting.
And that's the room where the Mel meter exploded when I was there the first time. Which, oddly enough, this time, not a single device popped on EMF the entire night.
It was weird.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
That is so active. That place is ridiculously active. And last time I was there, a couple years ago, everything, EMF was popping off like when I walked in the front door. All night long, nothing. Nothing on the Bear, nothing on the Mel meter, nothing on the Lowe's EMF, nothing on the cheap K2 meter. Because I think the only time I got it, it was because it was a feedback from an electronic.
Yeah, when we were turning the cameras on and off.
Yeah, because it's K2.
Oh, the other, I'm trying to find the spirit talker from when we were down in there, but I also found one from when we were upstairs. When we were in the doll room, one of the things we got on there was, "Are you an investigator?" So like they knew what we were doing.
Yeah, they seemed very spot on. And I just wish we had more information on it, like, because there's only been one person that has passed away there.
Yeah.
And I felt like multiple people were talking to us. And I don't know. It's very weird.
Yeah. Ugh. That basement room was the only thing that it freaked me out. Oh, so when we went back upstairs, your camera, we had moved it at one point to a different doll sitting in front of it, and when we went to clean everything up at the end of the night, we were putting everything back, and her head fell off. Which
my God.
I still had the spirit talker going, and right before that, like as we were standing there, I got on the spirit talker, the chair of torture, and I was like, the chair she's sitting in, and then her head fell off, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
And
oh my God, I felt awful. I was very gentle.
No,
anybody who knows that, you guys can tell, I was very gentle.
I think it was already sitting that way, and we just somehow hadn't knocked it off the first time.
So here she is sitting in the chair, decapitated, with her doll head large. This is a large doll too. This one was almost like one of bigger than an American doll.
Yeah,
the head was. Had those weird glassy resin eyes.
Oh my gosh!
Staring at you.
Yeah, and they would like shine in the light. There was like glitter in them. Oh,
looked like they moved.
Yeah,
yeah.
there was kind of like one last area that we got some activity. So we went back upstairs after that, after we ended our witching hour stuff, and we decided there was this mean teacher room we wanted to go to. And as we were walking there, we were walking through this hallway that's supposed to have a lot of activity as well. And as we were walking down the hallway, I still had the spirit talker going, and I got, "May I touch you?" And I was like, no, please do not do that. So we get to the mean teacher room, And Mike brought a book that he wrote with him. And so we were like, let's have story time. And
Tummy the Troll.
Yes, Tummy the Troll. And when we got in there, because he had spent some time in there earlier talking to the mean teacher, her name was Miss Johnson. And he had already spent some time earlier kind of talking to her alone, which I'm very curious what footage he got from that too. And when he came in, since he was going to read the book, he was like, can I sit in your chair? And what I got on my spirit talker was permission. So she gave him permission to sit in her chair, and he read his story. And you had sat down at one of the desks to listen to the story, and I was kind of standing near the window, and Mike got on his spirit talker, take a seat. So she did not like that I was standing, apparently. I needed to sit down for story time.
Yeah, and that was when I said, they were like, I think the comment was, oh, it could have been a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, a kid would have been like, sit down, take it over here.
Yeah.
A teacher or an adult would have said, take a seat.
Yeah, she did not like that I was standing. So I sat for story time as well, and he read the whole story. And when he got done reading the story, because it's meant for children, he was like, I probably just read that to like a bunch of like 15-year-olds. And one of the things we got in the spirit talker after that was 15. So like, I don't know if that was an acknowledgement of yes, yeah, we're 15.
Possibly. Yeah. I think there's multiple ages there. I mean, that thing was used for pretty much all ages up through like almost high school.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious about, since it's called Poasttown Elementary, but that may have just been the last thing it was being used as,
Yeah, I think on that list I sent you, initially, like when we were first planning it, I think it's on that weird notes that I had taken on what songs they sang and things like that. Because I want to say that there was quite a few levels of school. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, 15, depending on what decade you're in, 15 could be an adult.
That's true too. Because the school itself was dedicated in 1937. So it is a very, very old school.
Yeah, and they used to be dirt floored schools on the premise, like I'll say the premises, but in that area before that.
I think we got the name Williams at one point, didn't we?
We got the what?
Did we get the name Williams at some point?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, we'll have to check back on that, because I just noticed that the the original superintendent's last name is Williams. I thought we got that name at some point.
I can't remember names.
Yeah.
Unless I have it like written down somewhere I would forget.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out. Oh, I just noticed they do have a walkthrough of the history on their website, so I'm going to rewatch that. Yeah.
I'm curious how accurate that is.
Yeah, I'm curious of it compared to, what we were told, see if there's any more information. Yeah. But yeah, we've got so much footage to go through.
And now starts the time of going through and having us all look through what each we have. And,
Yeah, I already looked back through the pictures just to see if like there's anything like in the background or anything like that. I wasn't really trying to do like a lot of photography or anything because it was so dusty that I was like, there's gonna be a lot of what looks like orbs because of the dust. So I was like, I don't even want to mess with all that,
Yeah. I have as I found it real quick. So some of because I like to look up the claims places, kind of to see if anything happens that's similar. So under the claims that's listed, it says feeling of dread, which I don't think I felt that throughout the night. Did you?
Only when we were in the dry goods room when things started getting weird, where I was like, oh,
weird. Okay.
Yeah.
It says chill spots even in warm locations.
We definitely got that.
Got that. Gymnasium dark figures.
We did not get that. We did spend some time in the gym.
It felt so bland in there.
It felt pretty chill in there. They seemed to enjoy singing.
Yeah.
We were singing in there. But yeah, it felt pretty chill in there. I was kind of surprised the gymnasium wasn't more, I don't know, energetic.
Well, and there was even a little stage that was in there. You guys were sitting on, had little, velvet curtains.
Yes.
So it had dark figures moving between classrooms.
Yes.
That would be a good place to put a camera with an
Yeah.
IR light.
We had talked about that. I think, unfortunately, there was just not Wi-Fi there.
Yeah, we couldn't get to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
Nurses' station and boiler room are biggest hotspots for shadow figures. I didn't see any shadow figures all night long.
Well, that's why I had that one camera pointed at the door to the boiler room. So, yeah, we didn't visually see much of anything. I'm curious if we'll get anything looking back through the cameras.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because I feel like the whole night, like, we were getting these messages that were like, I can see all of you. Can you see me? And I'm like, no, I can't see you. Like, please.
Like, I can't see you. Yeah.
Please.
Oh, see, this one was debunked by our tour guide. This one says Cheryl Ann or Sarah lost life in a tall, steep well.
Oh.
Or maybe that's outside. So she said no, that they didn't die on the or step well. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, step well. So she said that she didn't pass away there. She passed away off the premises.
Yeah, off premises. I wonder if that's the well that she said was in the basement.
Oh no, that was me, like shorthanding, like almost Navy, where we say ladder well.
Gotcha.
That's me.
Yeah. We were told to not do any dowsing rods in the basement, and I was like, oh, why? Apparently there's a well down there. Like, okay, yep, checks out.
There's water everywhere. So they said reports of a young girl heard giggling and laughing in hallways.
Yeah. Didn't hear any of that in person. Maybe we picked that up on a camera.
Guests are being grabbed or clothing tugged. I had the back of my head touched again.
Yes, you did.
And I couldn't tell if I felt fingers. All I reacted to was the feeling of someone like tugging or moving the hair on the back of my head. That was up.
Mike did get touched in the gymnasium too. It was kind of like his lower back.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So maybe not grabbed, but like touch.
But poked a little bit.
Whistling in the building. Did you hear any whistling?
I did not hear any whistling, but that was one of the things we got on the Spirit Talker too. It kept saying whistling, and I was like, no, I'm not whistling at night. No. Listen.
Mike and I were laughing that way, and I was like, I know, it's like West Virginia. You're not supposed to do that after dark or something.
My extended family's all from West Virginia. I do not whistle at night.
Yeah, I think he asked me. He was like, "What was with like not like mean?" He was like, man, she was like, I'm not whistling. And I'm like, she wasn't mad at you.
No.
She wasn't going to whistle.
Yeah. It was because the Spirit Talker said whistling. And I was like, I'm not doing that at night. I do not do that.
So desks heard being dragged in multiple classrooms. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
And then footsteps and doors slamming through the building.
We didn't get any of that either. I do remember you and I did hear a noise at one point. Possibly, maybe that could have been a desk somewhere because we never figured out where the noise came from.
Yeah.
And like everything was still in place.
I found one of the names.
Oh, you found one of the names?
Francis. Remember we got Francis?
Oh, yeah.
Francis Riley taught 2nd and 3rd grade.
Oh. Yeah, we were given a lot of names through the night. They were mostly like men's names.
Yep. Because they got a lot of principals. It was all dudes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe they were just giving us a list of principals.
Yeah. Like, we don't... All of our...
There was Glenn and Bob and... Yeah, Francis was one of them. We have them written down somewhere.
Yeah. So it looks like that's as high up as it went, was 8th grade. Oh, you're not 16, though. You're like 14, right?
Yeah. I think. So, I don't know.
Well, I'm like, I started high school in 98, and I was probably 14 or 15.
Well, I'm just thinking since the school's so old, I'm like, I don't know how things were then.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Okay, I think that was the last one we should have said. Some kids stole Mrs. Finkbone's money. I remember I found that.
Oh.
This Mrs. Finkbones actually left it in like the 50th anniversary of the school. She wrote a note in there about it.
Oh my gosh.
They stole $2 from her desk, which was a third of a day's wages.
Rude.
Yeah, I remember reading that. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so that was the claims and the things I had. That's just my pre-investigation notes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're almost at the top of the hour. Is there anything else you wanted to say to kind of just sum up our experiences there?
Yeah, I guess a good sum up. I guess this place is listed as, the most haunted school in Ohio, or the almost most haunted school in Ohio, just by the activity that I observed, and that I don't think there's going to be anything on any of this video that's going to change my mind. I would love it to once we review it. I would not designate this as the most haunted school in Ohio, but
Yeah, I was like, how do you even like compare those,
right.
you know?
Like, what's the scale? Yeah. And I will say the activity between when I was there versus now is like night and day.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why.
Yeah.
It could be influenced by the people that were there.
Definitely could be. Because kind of my theory on that was because the first time you had gone, it was a public investigation, so there was a lot of people and they were kind of rowdy. Could be that they were feeding more off of that energy. For us, we just had like a lot of camera batteries drained that should not have. Like I had my handheld camera upstairs, the battery died, and so I had a fully charged battery in my pocket. I swapped it, put the fully charged one in. No, when I put that one in, it was dead too. So stuff like that of like I charged that all day.
That the night vision one I had in the coffin room wasn't even there that long. We came back and it was turned off.
Yeah, that's true. Did you check and see if there was video on that one?
I haven't. I got all my gear out today to try and figure out how to get it off of the camera. So
so we'll have lots of stuff to go through. Give us some time to go through everything.
I'm hoping that once I have a couple more things, maybe I'll find something crazy. To me, this was not. It was active and it was fun, but it was a different type of activity.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what to think about it.
It was surprisingly chill.
Yeah, chill. It's a good word.
Yeah.
It was very chill.
And that might just been that was the energy we were kind of going in with, of just like, let's see what we can see.
Right. I think that's helpful, that we're not, my hubby's not, I'm not, from what I've known you for a couple years, you don't seem to be. We're not like hoot hollers, screamers for no reason. Like there needs to be a reason why.
No, if I'm yelling, there's a problem.
Right. Clearly. Like there's an issue. Yeah. And I think us going into it with just chill vibe.
Yeah.
Made it so that it was more chill. I don't know. It's very weird. It was completely different from last time.
Yeah. Very strange, and I'm so interested to see what else we might have gotten.
Oh, me too. Absolutely.
But
I want to see what Mike finds on his
his
cam that he had on, the one that was on the front of him, his body cam.
Yeah, his body cam.
To see if he caught the Estes method. I think people would love to see you under the Estes method, because it was pretty phenomenal. It was pretty phenomenal.
You'll see me grooving at some point.
Yeah, but man, you were on it. You could hear Mike and I ask a question, boom, you would answer it. It was wild.
That's so funny, because just saying words, like, it felt like forever was like taking between the words. So I was like, I don't know if I'm answering anything.
Well, it did. I give a lot of time. I always say, people ask questions in the paranormal and they immediately ask the ghost with another one. You're like, you got to give them a little time to muscle the energy up to deliver it. But,
yes.
Man, they did. They liked you.
Yeah.
At that one spot at that time, you were the one.
Could be my affinity for both dolls and radio. Who knows?
Right? They're like, she can come here. She can hang out.
You can chill. But on that note, we are at the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and wrap this episode up, and stay tuned for when we post some more videos and stuff we found through the night. But we'll go ahead and sign off. So good night and good luck.